What is up, you guys? Welcome to Behind 863. We have another vlog slash video for you guys today. Today's one you guys have been asking a lot for. Today we're going to be going over how we did the Wes and Deb conversation. A lot of people are asking, hey, like, how did you guys do that? Also, you guys are like, what the torturing sounds and stuff in the background, like, we're super curious. And so I'm gonna go to the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Badal, and he said he has everything from like making that still there. So we can show you in depth how we made the conversation, what it sounded like, how we made those sounds in the background, like the torturing sounds, kind of how the whole process was laid out. Because yeah, that was a huge question from that season, from that part of the story. We got all the answers here today. So let's go check in with Mike, yeah?
Mike!
What's up?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Hey.
Hey, me and
How you doing?
viewers have come here to bug you about the Wes and Deb conversation.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, so you said that you have a bunch of the stuff, the project from you making it, and
yeah, I never throw anything away, so let me just pull that session up.
let's take a look. So Mike, you were the one that worked on all of pretty much Wes and Deb's conversation, right?
Yeah, pretty much the whole thing.
Oh my goodness. So
Yeah.
what was that process like? Like, how long did that take? How much planning went into it? We naturally had to like bring people in for certain parts. We won't say who.
Yeah, honestly, it only took me about like half a day, to be honest. It was really fun. Like, I was like in the zone that day.
Ooh.
Sound design's really fun, and I don't get to do it very often. So.
In case you guys are wondering, this is what Mike's studio looks like. Some of you have probably already seen it, but in case you're wondering, all of the like the vinyl stuff, but all of the music that goes into Project 863 is all made by this man himself right here.
Yes, sir.
And he does it using all of these different tools that he loves to buy. He has he has everything, you know what I'm saying? So you music nerds might be freaking out a little bit. But he's been accumulating them for a while.
Kevin walks in and he's like, another thing? Really? you bought something else?
More?
Okay.
What was the process on like how to start this, you know?
So I know that there was going to be a tape, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was supposed to be experimental. And before anybody could like greenlight anything, I just went ahead and started doing stuff.
Nice.
Because I was afraid that people might think it's too dark. And I think I did get pretty dark. Like, first things first, I wanted to almost like kind of tell a story with it, right? It's like, okay, so how am I going to like ramp this up to where you're like going to intently listen in? So one of the main things for me was going to be the heart rate monitor. So what I did here was I basically took a heart rate monitor and then I started speeding it up faster until, you know. So this is like the first layer of it all.
Okay.
And what's cool about working on all this stuff is you have to basically make it sound like it's coming from something. So I have this program called Altiverb. It's basically a reverb thing.
Yeah. So
I put the beep inside of a studio. Like, this is literally the picture of the room that this reverb was captured. So I stuck this inside of there.
Okay.
I did that to almost everything. The fun parts is where I started using my own voice. Yes, that's me on the tape, guys, for the guy being tortured and the guy on the intercom and all that. For instance, this is my really bad British accent doing the intercom portion.
Paging Nelson Cyphers, please call extension 212. Call extension 212 Nelson Cyphers.
That's so good.
So that, again, I've had to put it in an environment. So I put it in basically like in a classroom because I figured that's what I would assume that this laboratory kind of looks like in terms of environment.
So that's so that the reverb and the sound bouncing around is realistic to that room.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if I took all that stuff off, you'd actually hear my really crappy British accent.
Paging Nelson Cyphers, please call extension 212. Call extension 212.
That is
Nelson Cyphers.
crazy how much that changed that.
Right? And then when you stick all this stuff back on, because like I even added like distortion to it. So I really like rammed the heck out of so it sounds like it's coming out of a really busted up speaker. That's how you get that intercom effect.
Paging Nelson Cyphers, please call extension 212.
That sounds totally like a hospital mental asylum kind of vibe.
Yeah. Shall we get to the torture?
Yes.
Hear me, I want to go home.
You sound like Morty from Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Let's put the reverb back on it.
Do you hear me? I want to go home.
Whoa, that's so creepy.
I don't want. No.
Oh my gosh.
I literally like sat in this chair and like put the microphone a little bit far away from me. And I'm just like if anybody walked in, they'd be like, "What are you doing?" I was like, I had to get in the mood, and then I literally like screamed. Nobody came and checked on me, by the way.
That's what you get out of this? Mike's like, someone's gonna come in here and check on me. No one cared.
No one came.
YouTube's algorithm is freaking out right now. It's like, what's happening?
So that's that. Then we have like the actual ambience, like building out the actual room. So this is what the room sounds like. So I got an office, like with people like just chit-chatting away. Again, all of it running through Altiverb, that piano room thing.
Oh, same piano room.
Same piano room.
Okay.
So it's just like noises like this. And then we have torture chamber. Just like metal clanking.
Oh my gosh. Play me like a snippet of like this ambiance in the background of like the conversation too.
Oh, sure.
2, 1, 2, notes and ciphers.
Talking to him was never going to be the solution.
Excuse me.
That's so good.
You needed to hear it for yourself. You needed to see how unreasonable he is with your own eyes. I know you've known him for a long time. You care about him. And the dream you two created, it blinded you.
So like, you're building this like story essentially,
Yeah. And it's crazy how well it comes together.
right? So then you've got the actual conversation.
You want to speak with me?
Really? After not seeing me for a week, that's how you're going to address me?
That's proof that it's not Sam. Because a lot of comments were saying that, oh, that's just Sam's voice.
Yeah.
It's not. There you go. Raw, untouched. I'll even take off Altiverb.
You wanted to speak with me?
Really? After not seeing me for a week, that's how you're going to address me?
That is so
What's wrong?
strange.
So then what I did was I stuck them in the back of the piano room. Imagine this is a room. Like you're standing way in the front. You could literally tell this thing to take it far away from you, bring it closer. So I stuck them in the back of the room.
You wanted to speak with me?
Really? After not seeing me for a week, that's how
Right
you're
over
going
there.
to address me?
It didn't work.
That sounds so good.
I can only imagine as a viewer, you kind of hear it all come together, and it's done so well that like you don't think twice that it could not all be happening in the same room.
Yeah.
But then the fact you isolate every single thing, like you're like, oh, I made this sound, and you just have like, you like isolated. Everything's isolated. Everything was done separately.
Yeah.
It's like beautiful, but it's haunting. It's like it's strange because it's so real, but then you take each thing by itself and you're like, this isn't real. Like this is just like Mike's voice and like some of the
Yeah.
It's so fascinating.
So that's how we basically built this out, right? So by the way, that program that we used in the episode was real. But in order to get it working the way I want it to work, I did have to doctor something a little bit.
Okay.
So I had to essentially process the audio so it sounds like this. This is the processed audio. So basically what I did was I ran it through a really bad cassette with bad batteries. So
There's
it's
a
like,
plugin for literally everything. A
Yeah.
bad cassette with bad batteries.
yeah. So I ran it through that, right? Once we exported it, then I brought it into, like we said, we promised, it was a real program, RX7. This is what I used actually to clean up your podcast too.
Oh, nice. So in case you guys are wondering when the podcast sounded crisp both times, you can thank Mike.
So this is what we were listening to, right? And then Matt was like, oh, I can't really hear it. So then I just highlighted it all. I normalized it. So it brings the whole thing up really loud like that. And then that's what you guys heard. Could I have done it? Yes, I could have, but it wouldn't have sounded as clear. If I was to have actually taken the final mix, brought it in here, like unprocessed, like this, like all of this. There is a feature in this program that lets you do something called music rebalance. What I'm trying to do is isolate just the voice to see if we could have gotten the conversation without me processing it.
Is this how a lot of people rip the voices off of like tracks? And
These days, yes. In the past, it was really crazy. You could get the original song and the instrumental, and if you placed them on top of each other, and there's something called reverse phase.
That's smart, subtracting out the instrumental.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You subtract out the instrumental, and all that's left is the voice. Yeah, we're so geeky, dude. Everybody's gonna be like, Tanner, why are you talking about this crap?
That's like, I would have never thought to do that.
Okay, and let's make that louder and see what we got. So this is with only voices left in.
Page Nelson Simon, please call extension 2.
Actually, it worked really well.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
12 Nelson Simons.
Dude, I almost kind of wish I did that.
Mike wishes he could have done it differently months later.
Although you guys wouldn't have gotten all of the conversation. Like, you see how I'm kind of over it?
Yeah, you kind of like you're louder than them.
There's no way you guys would have understood what's going on.
It would have been cool to just take out the first part though, you know?
Yeah.
Like just the Nelson Cyphers part.
I take that back. But that's proof that this thing can do it.
Yeah.
So, this program exists. We didn't make it up. There's really such thing as forensic audio editing. After everything was done, remember this, guys? This is Woods' tape recorder. I essentially went out from my headphone jack into here, and I literally had to record playback.
Oh, so
onto
that it
this.
has that sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So I did something similar for this season. So if you guys are Spellbound Plus premium tier members, you guys could already watch that Behind 863 episode where we're dealing with other old technology and making it work for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, that's been the fun part for me. It's like problem solving, how to use old archaic technology and like bringing our 21st century tech to it.
Yeah.
For a nerd like me, this has been really fun.
Exactly.
My whole thing with this too is for a lot of the film and like, you know, video production kind of nerds out there, this might not be super shocking. I'd be like, oh yeah, this is kind of like, oh, I've seen stuff like this before. Like where it is super structured externally and on that realm. But for the viewers who don't know a lot about this might kind of give you a little bit of like understanding as to like how this kind of industry generally works. It's not a bunch of paid actors going into a room and a lot of these different noises like happening like perfectly. Like,
yeah, no.
It's totally structured, it's totally coordinated, and it has to be because it has to be calculated. It sounds so perfect because it is so perfect, and that's the exact thing.
No, legitimately, you're right, because if you think about it, our session for just this little tape was 17 tracks, right? When you guys see these like mix rooms, pictures of these mix rooms at like Warner Brothers and stuff like that, they have these gigantic mix boards. That's why. Imagine how many tracks there are for a 2-hour film. Like Inception or something like that. It's hundreds and hundreds of tracks. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of like the main thing I wanted to show you guys too, is how we did it, like a lot of the different things you were hearing within it, and maybe there's stuff we missed and that you want to hear, and if so, please comment down below. I can always come back to Mike and we can get even more footage about this stuff. But the main thing I think I wanted to show, and I think that Mike wanted to show, is that good sound design is not noticed to be good sound design, right? That's the entire point of it. So when all this stuff is sounding like super real, super clear, it's because that means Mike did a really good job, honestly.
Yeah.
If it sounded obtuse and out of the ordinary, then you would know, and then you'd be like, oh, this couldn't possibly be real, you know?
you honestly hit the nail on the head. Like, even in film school, they would tell us students, they're like, it kind of sucks to be a sound guy because, like, with cinematography, when it's really good, people go, oh my god, look at all this cinematography, it's wonderful. But nobody notices sound unless it's really bad.
Yes.
If you're doing your job well, nobody will comment on it.
Hey. True. Well, awesome job, Mike.
Thank you.
Viewers, give Mike some love in the comments. He's been doing everything audio, everything sound, everything music related for all of the videos. So all that awesome music you're hearing is this guy. He's making every ounce of it. So
Thanks, guys.
Mike, sign us off.
Make sure you guys check out the main channel over here.
There you go.
And also check out the other Behind the 863 stuff. We got the podcast, we've got all this BTS footage, and we're so happy that you guys are a part of it because you guys are subject 4 and we need you. So that's it for me.
Yeah, see you guys. Have a good one.
See ya.